Hey, what's up? Hello, my name is Raluca Docan. I'm a Romanian Erasmus student studying here in Germany at the Technical University of Ilmenau. And the video for today is like, those culture shocks that I've experienced here in Germany. Well, it's gonna be like culture shocks that I've experienced at the university here in Germany. And it's gonna be like some sort of comparison between the university which I was studying at in Romania, which is SNSPA from all my Romanians out there, and university here. So let's get into it. So first of all, my first culture shock, which I'm still not over, like I can't wrap my head around it because it's such a big change, as the grading system. So in Romania, obviously you get like marks from 1 to 10, 10 being the biggest mark. You need a 5 to pass usually. In some exams you need a 6. But here it's totally different. It's from 1 to 5. Like 1, I know for sure, is the biggest. You can't get 1.0, you can't get any more than that. But as you go higher, as you go towards 5, they become increasingly small. So I still can't really understand. I don't know how they calculate these grades. Maybe I should look into it, but for now I have no idea. I could not for the life of me translate my grades from Romania to the grades here, and 100% is gonna be like 1. How does that work? I have no idea. So weird, right? The second biggest culture shock that I've experienced here is how people ask each other, which semester are you in? It's weird because in Romania, for instance, in my master's, let's take my master's. My master's is 2 years long. 2 years meaning 4 semesters. But no one cares about the semesters, right? Because you're expected to finish in 2 years. You can't take however long you want to finish those years. You're giving those 2 years, and if something happens, you can't finish one of those years, then you have to repeat the year. So you're gonna be in your second year for a longer period of time, which is it's not something you would want. It's not something that is expected to happen at any point. I think there's a pretty small amount of people who repeat a year. So basically, if I start with some colleagues in my first semester, my first day of college is the same colleagues which I'm gonna have when we graduate, all of us at the same time, all of us in 2 years. But here it's totally different. You can be a student for however long you want. Basically, you can be like a 50-year-old student, which by no means is a problem in itself, and I don't think this is a problem. But it's just very different because there's no rush, there's no rush to finish your studies, except for you want to be employed, so and so. But aside from this, the university wouldn't rush you in any way. I know here in Ilmenau you're allowed to retake an exam 4 times, but you can just not retake it. You don't have to sign up to retake the exam the next semester which you're in school, which in Romania every exam session is supposed to be the time where you take all your exams. So if you failed one exam your last semester, it means you're automatically the next semester you're supposed to be retaking it. If you retake it and you don't show up, it's okay, you got a 1. You got a 1 out of 10, you're not gonna pass. Or you got a 0 out of 10, you're not gonna pass. And if some universities are different, but most of them, if you don't pass the exam for 2 or 3 times, then you have to keep paying more and more to retake the exam. It's very different because, basically, regarding this, in Romania, you'd always be asked which year are you in. And when you're saying oh, I'm in my second year, oh, so you're gonna be graduating this year. But here in Germany, it's I'm in my 45th semester. I don't think I'm gonna be done anytime soon. I'm just taking my time. And another thing which is sort of related to the semester thing is that In Germany, you have more freedom of like what you're studying, how, when you're studying. For every master's, bachelor's, whatever program, you have some mandatory classes that you have to take, otherwise you're not gonna graduate. But there's also some credit points that you can get by signing up to any classes. So this means like you have those classes that you can take at any time during any of your semesters, and it doesn't really matter which one is first. They're not like related to one another, except when it says like it's a basic course and an advanced course. But other than that, it's pretty much you do what you want. You choose whatever classes you want. Whereas in Romania, in the first day of the school year, you get like the schedule, and it's like you have to take these 4 classes, these 4 times a week, and you have to pass these classes by the end of the semester. You can't basically choose much of what you're gonna do, except for when it's an optional class, which like you're given 2 or 3 options which you can choose from. So for example, if I'm working on Mondays and I want to have my Mondays off from university, that's not possible in Romania. Whereas in Germany, yeah, you can have all your days off, you know? Like you just choose the classes which are like compatible with your schedule and go for it. Also, yeah, I'm not sure about all the other universities in Germany, but here in Ilmenau, as opposed to Romania, you have to register for all your classes. This sort of makes sense when you think that you have so much freedom. Okay, you're not given anything, nothing is set in stone, there's no rules regarding this. So yeah, it makes sense, but at the same time, here at this particular university, you have to sign up on 3 or 4 different platforms. There's Open Timetable, which will like give you the schedule for your classes. There's Moodle, where like people like the students communicate with the teachers. There's like all the classes there, all the assignments, everything like this. There's like the Turm. The Turm is like a platform where you basically sign up for classes, but that's not all, because you also have to sign up for classes at the examination office, and you also sometimes have to speak with a teacher. So it's like you're doing all these 5 things just to be in one class. When you're done with this class, you don't even have to take, that's another difference. When you're done with this class, you don't even have to take an exam. Like you can just not sign up for the exam. Again, for the signing up for the exam, you have to speak to the examination office, send them like a paper with all the exams that you want to take, or like maybe send them an email or something. And also you have to check on some website if they did in fact sign you up for the exam. Whereas in Romania, you've taken a class, so obviously you're required to now take the exam at the end of the year, because like why else would you have taken the class, right? But I mean, in some sense, it's good that you have this freedom in Germany, because this means that you're gonna be taking the exam when you're ready to. But at the same time, it makes it a bit like complicated to do all this signing up for all these things all the time, right? Another thing is that when you're done with university, you have to. This is just some funny thing that I've discovered. You have to deregister from the university. You have to tell them like, I'm done. I'm not gonna be taking the next semester. That's just not going to happen. I'm not gonna be here. How do they not know? How do they not know that you're done? This is just weird, because in Romania, like, you're done, your case is closed, put aside, you're not a student anymore. Again, when it comes to your final paper, your thesis, be it bachelor's, master's, PhD, whatever, it's a bit different. just in the sense that in Romania, the thesis doesn't count as credit points. This means that you're gonna be done, you're gonna be or gonna have already graduated from university, you're gonna have all your credit points, and the thesis is just like the final step towards receiving your bachelor's or your master's degree. Whereas here in Germany, your thesis counts as credit points. So you can't be done with university until you present, like you're not going to be done with your program until you present your thesis. Which, in my opinion, it sort of makes more sense because in Romania, you don't basically receive your master's degree until you've submitted your thesis, but you can have graduated your university. This other thing that I've noticed is more like regarding what happens in campus. So here, you're not just a student to get your degree. There's so many things happening in campus as well. There's, I think, over 50 clubs here at the university I'm studying at. Don't quote me, I'm not sure about that. And by clubs, I mean student associations where people interested in a subject are like part of a community. And basically, this doesn't really happen in Romania. There are, of course, some student associations, but they're like the association of people studying psychology, for instance, where they're doing some interesting things, but you can't really compare the things that are happening in Romania, the 2 or 3 student associations, with those ones here in Germany that have like a rich history. You have all these advantages when you're being part of a club. Sometimes you get money for being part of the club. You get experience, obviously, by being in a club. You get free things, free entry to stuff. So to give you some examples of student associations here, there's 2 or 3 Christian student associations. There's radio, a student radio. There's a film club. They screen movies like once every 2 weeks or so, and they're really cool movies. There's like, you can be part of a club like a bar club. There's some like clubs that are made for international students, like supporting them and helping them adapt. There's a club for the internet. That's actually insane. There's a club for the internet, and by being a member of this club, you basically get Wi-Fi that's cheaper than if you would be like paying for the normal Wi-Fi. And related to this, there's also all the sports. There's a really big focus on sports here, and I think all throughout Germany there's this big sports hall, which is divided into like smaller rooms, and you can sign up for all sorts of sports. You can sign up for Zumba, yoga, floorball, maybe skating, swimming, tennis, badminton, all sorts of dances, like probably 5-6 types of dances, even more. Myself, I'm part of 2 of them, which is Zumba and yoga for this semester. And these are all partially funded by the university. So you're paying such a small amount of money to be part of this group for a semester. In Romania, you would have to like go to a gym and pay like, let's say 50 euros per month or even more to be weightlifting or whatever you're doing at the gym. But here I'm paying 20 euros per semester, and maybe 25 for the Zumba per semester again, for the full semester, which means a class a week. Another reason why you wouldn't get bored as a student here in Germany, as opposed to Romania, where you only go to university to study, as I've said previously, there's always an event going on. There's always some sort of either party, festivity, movie screening, a concert provided by the university, a trip maybe. There's school trips all the time. Like I myself have went to a power plant. Never in my life would I have ever had chance to go to a power plant, see what they're doing there, if it wasn't for the university. There's like trips to other cities. There's all the parties all the time. There's intercultural nights, intercultural events where people from different cultures will prepare some food. There will be like dancing and songs and games regarding to that culture. There's, I don't know, just so many. There was Diwali. Diwali is an Indian festival, and we celebrated it here in Ilmenau. There's the Oktoberfest of Ilmenau. There's the Chinese New Year, which it was also celebrated here. There's no way you can be bored here. There's no way you're gonna be like, what am I gonna do today? No. Usually my days are all booked, and being an introvert, it's actually hard for me to keep up with all those events happening here. And even though I'm in such a small city, you'd be like, who knows anything about the city? Where is this? It's like in the middle of the mountains. You have nothing going on in the city. No. Whereas in Romania, you're studying in a small city. What are you gonna do? You're gonna go to the park every day. There's not much you can do. You can go to a cafe. And related to these school trips that I've mentioned previously, because they're like part of the university somehow, like made by students or associations or so, this means they're also partially or fully funded by the university. So the power plant trip that I went on, I didn't have to pay anything for it. We went to the opera one time, and we didn't pay the full amount of like going to the other city for the opera, like with the bus. We didn't pay the full amount of the ticket. We had actually very, very nice spots, and the play was fantastic. There was a trip to Strasbourg, which for like a full week or so, I'm not sure, maybe it was a bit less. You would only pay like 100 euros, but you would get like the tour of the European Parliament. You would get like transportation and accommodations. So to think that these are all funded by the university, this is just amazing. Another thing, and I can't really talk about all the universities in Romania, all the universities in Germany, but I'm just comparing these two. In Romania, you either don't have any sort of dorm or student accommodation, or if there is actually a dorm or two or three, you'd have to share a room with a lot of people. So I'm talking not two people, no. In like my room is 10 square meters or something like this. And I'm staying here by myself. But in Romania, this would be like a place for 4 people. There would be like bunk beds, and there would be 4 people living in this tiny room. I was living in a dorm with 3 people. There was no kitchen in that dorm. We didn't have a canteen or a cafeteria to eat at. So what are you supposed to do? Like eat at the restaurant every day of your life? So you'd have to like improvise, adapt, overcome. Or some other people that I knew that were like living like 8-10 people living in a small room with 3 bunk beds or so, with like maybe 2 closets that they have to share, with 2 tables, like not nearly enough room. Whereas here, there's no such thing as 2 people sharing the same room, which honestly I think it's insane that some places actually think this would be a normal thing to do, like share a room with some people for full 6 years of university. In my particular apartment, I share it with two other people, and we have one bathroom and one kitchen. It's a pretty small kitchen, but some get bigger kitchens and also like a dining room or something. For now, I think this is all the differences that I've noticed between being a student in Romania and being a student in Germany. But I've only been here for 1 semester, so who knows, maybe we'll have like a second video. Also, I really want to make a comparison video between my apartment here, living in a dorm, and my dorm back in Romania. I've shown some footage to people here from my last dorm in Romania, and they were like shook. They were like, no, I'm not going there. It looks like someone will come kill you in the middle of the night. It's like bad. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!